Hello students, this is Tanika. Welcome to my channel Prep Biology. So this is class 12th of this series. Today we will discuss about the most important topic of this chapter, that is the pollen pistil interaction. This is the very important topic of this unit, so make sure you will understand it carefully. So pollen pistil interaction. What is the meaning of this? Pollen pistil interaction. In this, we will study about the how pollen interact with the pistil. So, if we start with the starting, that we have a reproductive part of the plant, that is the flower. Okay. So, we have female part and we have the male part. Okay. Female part is called the gynoecium, that contains pistil, and pistil have stigma, style and ovary. Male part is called the androecium. It contains the stamen, and stamen contains two very important parts, anther and filaments. If we talk about the male part, that is the anther, anther contains pollen grains, and if we talk about the pistil contains stigma, style and ovary. Inside the ovary, we have female gametophyte, that is the ovule. Now, with the help of the pollination process, the pollen grains will transfer from the anther to the stigma. Okay, now this is the stigma, and the pollen grains lands on the surface of the stigma. By which process? Pollination process. Now, in this lecture, we will study about the pollen, how pollens interact with the pistil, or how they land on the surface of the stigma. What are the different events or different stages in this process? Firstly, if we see, this is the stigma part. This is the stigma, and the pollen will come and land on the surface of the stigma. Now, the point is here, there are two types of the pollen: compatible pollens, and incompatible pollens. So, compatible pollens are the pollens which are the right type of pollen. Right type means if this is the stigma of mango plant, if this is the stigma of the mango plant, then the pollen, this pollen is also from the mango plant. Okay, this type of the pollen is the compatible pollen. That means the pollen and the stigma are from the same plant. That are the compatible pollens, that is right type of pollen. What is incompatible pollen? If this stigma is of mango plant, but this pollen is not from the mango plant, this pollen is from the another plant, so this is the wrong type of the pollen that will land on this stigma. So this is the incompatible pollen. I hope this concept is clear to you all. Now, the stigma or this stigma or the pistil has the ability to reject or accept the pollens. Okay, if the compatible pollen will come, that means the same type of the pollen will come, then it will accept the pollen. If incompatible pollen will come, land on the stigma, the pollen is rejected by the pistil. Okay, so the pistil has the ability to recognize the right type of the pollen. Okay, now let's discuss or understand this concept, pollen pistil concept, with the help of diagram. Okay. If we see this picture, that the pollen, the compatible pollen will land or deposit on the surface of the stigma. This is the stigma, and pollen will come and land on the surface of the stigma, the compatible pollen. And the pistil has the capability or the ability to recognize the right type of pollen, and pollen will deposit on the stigma. Now, one point is very important. The some chemicals, some chemical components of the pollen, that interact with the stigma. So, in this process, the chemical secretion is also very important, that will help the pollen pistil interaction. Okay. Now, when the pollen will land on the stigma, then a very important part of the exine, which one is the which is the important part of the exine, that is the germ pore. Germ pore, we have already studied about it in the previous classes. The germ pore will help to enter the stigma and elongate the pollen tube. Now, if we see this diagram, this is the bursting of the pollen, and the germ pore helps to elongate this is the pollen tube, and inside the pollen tube we have two cells. First one is the generative cell and second one is the vegetative cell. Okay. So, sometimes in most of the angiosperms, the pollens shed at two-celled stage. What are the two cells? The first one is the generative cell and second one is the vegetative cell. Okay. Now, when the pollen tube elongate, then the generative cell, it will generate two male gametes. The generative cell generates two male gametes, and the third cell is the vegetative cell. Okay. Next point is, now the pollen tube will elongate and reach the micropylar end. This point is very important, that the pollen tube elongate and reach to the micropylar end. We know there are two ends or two poles of the ovule. First one is the chaliceal and second one is the micropylar end. We know that at the micropylar end we have two synergid cells and one egg cell. Okay. So, the pollen tube will elongate and reach which end? Micropylar end or micropylar pole. Okay. So, if we see this picture, this is the structure of LS of a flower that shows the pollen tube. So, we have, this is the micropylar end, and this is the chaliceal end. Now, at the micropylar end, we know that we have egg cell and two synergid cells. This kind of cells, arrangement of the cells present. We have two synergid cells and one egg cell is present. In which end? Micropylar end. Now, the pollen tube will come and reach at the micropylar end, and pollen tube contains two male gametes. These are two male gametes and one vegetative nucleus. Now, at the synergid, we have studied that it contains cellular thickening that is called filiform apparatus. We have discussed in previous classes also, the synergid cells contains a special kind of the cellular thickenings which are called the filiform apparatus. It will help. Here the filiform apparatus is present, it will guide the pollen tube and enter the two male gametes into the synergids. This is very important. If we see this picture, look at this picture, that this is the enlarged view of the micropylar end. So this is the pollen tube. This is the pollen tube, and pollen tube contains vegetative nucleus and two male gametes. This is the finger-like cellular thickenings present, that is called the filiform apparatus. The filiform apparatus will guide the pollen tube and it helps the two male gametes to enter into the synergid cells. Okay, these all events from the pollen deposition on the stigma until pollen tube enter into the ovule. Okay, so these all events comes under the pollen pistil interaction. Okay, so these all events comes under the pollen pistil interaction from the pollen deposition on the stigma until the pollen tube enter into the synergid cells. This is all about pollen pistil interaction. This is very, very important topic. So make sure you note it down. Practice these diagrams carefully. This is all about today's lecture. If you like this lecture, like, share and subscribe my channel, that is Prep Biology. Keep studying, study hard, study smart. Thank you so much.